fight for today!
Breaking news at noon, the U.S. Supreme Court has overturned Roe v. Wade, eliminating the constitutional right to an abortion nationwide.
Because they know that what they're doing is wrong. They know that what they're doing is not the will of the people.
10 TV is poring over the 213-page decision and digging deeper into what this means for women in Ohio. We're asking legal experts your questions on topics including in vitro fertilization, and we're gathering reaction from leaders in our state.
We must be in these streets right now! We must flood these streets non-violently!
I've been fighting my entire adult life for this day. It is one important victory. It's not the end.
10 TV News at noon begins now. I'm Tracy Townsend. We are beginning our 10 TV News coverage with this breaking news at noon. In just the last 2 hours, the U.S. Supreme Court eliminated the constitutional right to have an abortion. In a 6-3 ruling, the court is overturning 50 years of precedent. At this hour, almost half of the states, including Ohio, are expected to outlaw or restrict abortion. 10 TV has team coverage this afternoon from Washington, D.C. to right here at home in Columbus. Outside of the High Court, a large crowd has gathered, and at the State House, a demonstration is scheduled for later this afternoon. Now, this ruling comes from a case in Mississippi where that state's law banned nearly all abortion after 15 weeks of pregnancy. The opinion is 213 pages, and it says, in part, it is time to heed the Constitution and return the issue of abortion to the people's elected representatives. That is what the Constitution and the rule of law demand. Again, that's a portion of the ruling coming down from the Supreme Court. The immediate question now is this: what happens in Ohio? We can tell you that in our state, abortion bans are likely. There is no trigger ban, at least not yet. 10 TV's Brittany Bailey has been reading through the lengthy ruling, 213 pages. Brittany.
Well, Tracy, this is a day we have been anticipating for about 2 months now since that leaked opinion. Still, this decision is sending shockwaves across the country. As of now, a woman's right to an abortion is no longer guaranteed by the Constitution. It was a 5-4 decision with the majority opinion from Justices Samuel Alito, Clarence Thomas, Neil Gorsuch, Brett Kavanaugh, and Amy Coney Barrett. Now, you'll recall Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, and Coney Barrett were all nominated by former President Donald Trump. So what does this all mean? To be clear, it does not mean that abortion is now illegal. It does mean the decision is now up to each individual state. So far, 13 states already have so-called trigger laws on the books that are set to kick in response to today's decision. Ohio is not one of them yet. Right now, abortion in our state is legal up to 20 weeks of pregnancy. Of course, this topic has been hotly debated in our country's history with very strong feelings on both sides. But when it comes to how Americans really feel, this is what a recent CBS News YouGov poll showed. 65% believe abortion should be legal in most or all cases, while 35% believe it should be illegal. Now, this opinion, as we have been mentioning, is a lengthy one, more than 200 pages. The majority did rule that Roe was egregiously wrong from the start, and its reasoning exceptionally weak. Meanwhile, the liberal justices wrote in a joint dissent that the decision would bring sorrow for the many millions of American women who will be losing a fundamental constitutional protection. Tracy?
Brittany, thank you. We also just got a statement from Columbus Public Health, and it reads in part, abortion is health care. When we deny women access to safe abortions, we take away the basic health care services they need to live healthy and productive lives. We are also going to be posting this statement again from Columbus Public Health at 10tv.com and on the 10 TV News app. We are also getting reaction from Ohio's political leaders to the Supreme Court's ruling. Ohio Congressman Tim Ryan called it, quote, the largest case of government overreach in his lifetime. Also from 3rd District U.S. Congresswoman Joyce Beatty, who's joining him in condemning the ruling, saying the will of the American people has been overturned. Republican Senator Rob Portman says, while abortion is a sensitive and emotional issue, I think most Americans agree that life is precious and should be protected. Senator Portman went on to suggest lawmakers work together to provide support for pregnant women. Republican Congressman Jim Jordan simply said, life wins. Now, if you've been watching our extended coverage, you likely saw part of a news conference from House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Speaker Pelosi was ready to place blame.
Because of Donald Trump, Mitch McConnell, and the Republican Party, their supermajority in the Supreme Court, American women today have less freedom than their mothers.
Again, that was part of a news conference from Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi. And about a half hour ago, we have a statement that we received from Ohio's Senator Sherrod Brown. And his statement came into our newsroom saying, in part, for 50 years, women in America had the right to make their own personal health care decisions. Today, 5 judges handed that right over to politicians. And that is end of the quote from, again, Senator Sherrod Brown. We're also hearing from activists who are both for and those who are against abortion here in our state. Mark Harrington has been fighting abortion for decades. He says this is not the end for him.
It's likely that the heartbeat bill won't go into effect immediately, although AG Yost has said, at least publicly, he is going to move expeditiously to remove the injunction on the heartbeat bill. So hopefully, within short order, maybe in the next several months, we'll see that go into effect, and that will change things.
Harrington's organization, Created Equal, recently held up a large screen showing aborted fetuses on the State House lawn. Abortion rights activists say they are hurt, but they say they are focusing on the next steps.
My head and my heart, first and foremost, is with everyone who has an appointment to have an abortion in the coming days and weeks, and the fear that they may have about the availability of abortion, and with their doctors and other healthcare providers.
Pro-Choice Ohio says abortions are simply a part of healthcare, and healthcare is a human right. Their website has resources to help women looking for safe abortions. And the crowd has been growing outside of the Supreme Court. In this video, you can see young people, and you see that young person who had their mouth taped shut. People on both sides of this debate are protesting and demonstrating.
This decision is illegitimate. Abortion bans are illegitimate. Forced motherhood is illegitimate.
Jesus loves the little children, all the children of the world. Red and yellow, black and white, they are precious in His sight. Jesus loves the little children of the world.
And now this is live. Capitol Police say they have increased their presence in the days leading up to this decision outside the U.S. Supreme Court. And so you have this live view of the demonstrators there after the ruling that came down a short time ago this morning. Still ahead on 10 TV News at noon, we will continue our live team coverage of this monumental ruling from the Supreme Court. We are also standing by for the President of the United States. His address is set for 12:30.